My name is Chevonne, and I'm a clinical psychologist at Meaningful Mind Psychologist. Today I'm going to be talking to you about an interesting topic that many people come to me about, and that is that they're feeling stuck. Do you ever do something over and over again, kind of repeating a cycle, even though you really want to change it? Have you ever wondered why this happens? Maybe it's changing a habit or the way that you communicate at home or at work. Well, it's actually quite simple in the way that our brains work. So our brains work through patterns. The more that we do something, the more that we practice something, the stronger that neural pathway becomes. It's kind of like going to gym. Imagine if you went to gym and every time you went, you only practiced one part of your body. That part would become stronger, but all the other parts would become weaker. So what happens in our brains is, without knowing it, we continue to strengthen the same systems over and over again. Let me give you an example. Perhaps you're dealing with anxiety. And so to try and change your anxiety, you think to yourself, I don't want to be anxious. I need to stop being anxious. What can I do to stop being anxious? And that's how your thoughts go. So our brains don't work in positives and negatives. So they're not hearing the I do want to be anxious or I don't want to be anxious. They're just hearing anxiety. So what you're actually doing is continue to strengthen that path of anxiety, making that muscle stronger and making it more automatic to run into anxiety. So what do we do? Well, it's actually quite simple. We just need to practice a different pathway. So if we're trying to get over anxiety, we need to practice pathways of calm and relaxation and not practice pathways of stopping anxiety. So as you can see, it is quite simple. We need to decide what it is we want to change, what it is we want to strengthen, and practice, doing that thing over and over again. Now you may ask, if it's so simple, why are we not all getting it right? Well, what sometimes happens is that we don't actually know what we're practicing. So we're stuck in cycles and automatic patterns without knowing we're stuck in them. So this is where therapy comes in. So many people think that seeing a psychologist is about suffering from something or being in a sort of crisis. But actually, seeing a psychologist can help you to just change the patterns of your life. By seeing someone, it can help us to see clarity in what we're doing, to identify the patterns that we keep strengthening by accident, and to create new patterns, different patterns, to strengthen something that is actually what we want. What's also quite difficult is time. In order to change a pattern, we need to do it consistently, every day, for as long as it takes. Most people say it takes 21 days to change a habit. Well, if you were doing it every single hour for 21 days, but that doesn't really happen. Generally 8 weeks if you're doing consistently and giving a lot of time and energy every day to practicing. Again, it's just like gym. How quickly it happens is how often you go. Your brain is a muscle and we need to keep strengthening it. Many people don't have the time or the money to go and see a psychologist every single day. So at Meaningful Minds, we've developed a self-help program. This program is for 1 hour a day for 8 weeks, which you can help to develop your own skills and your own pathways of strengthening. This can be used in conjunction with therapy or just on its own. But in this way, you can start to identify where you're getting stuck, what patterns are you repeating, and how you can change them. So who is this for? Well, anyone. If you want to create change in your job, in your relationships, in the way that you communicate, maybe even in your sport or your hobbies, the best way is to start by identifying what are we strengthening over and over again, and what do we want to strengthen instead. If you have any questions or would like to contact us, please give us a call.